now tuned in to Bitch Are You Jealous Radio. Turn this shit up.
Are you jealous?
Oh shit. Here we go
Really
again.
get out to get to it, you know I'm gon' do it, you know I'm a nuisance. I see yellow, green, and blue, and I think that is fluid. And she keep asking for money, put dick in her tummy, no I can't do it. Y'all already know I'm refusing. Plenty pink skies, that's Cupid. Swinging back and forth, that's left to right. Looking at reflection, it's so bright. Try to prove me wrong, I prove them right. Mix it with the tea, and now it's right. Feel alive. We mix with the poker, I need me a spade. Fuck me for money.
We talking about everything, man.
She say toothpaste. Yeah. Put money in the bag and I'm acting two-faced. He got a toe tag cause he acting two-faced. Mix it up alright and I think it's too late. I don't feel no bullshit from you. Yeah, I can't feel no snake when I'm the truth. Yeah, like my grass green, my face is blue. Yeah, stuck up in my ways, ain't stuck on you. Pick what you like, fuck it, gon' ahead, pick up the pint. Fuck it, told her, gon' catch flight. She catch flight, get this. She gotta call me cause I ain't gon' bone her. Stuck in the green, I've been feeling like home.
Oh shit.
Too geeking, I went right to sleep. Been missing her text for a week cause I've been swinging.
I'm gonna go ahead and get started now. That way when everybody get in here, they kind of already know what's going on. So I might as well do that. So look, I'm finna talk about a lot of stuff, okay? I got my tabs open of what I want to talk about in order. I got a whole timeline built. Like, we finna unpack everything. I'm talking about from the injuries to the narratives going around the team and all of that. And really, just my opinion on everything as far as, like, you know, the coach and GM. Well, I really just say mainly the coach. My problem isn't with the GM as much as it is with everybody else. So that's just me, though. Like, I understand why people hate him, you know, especially early on, but he's gotten better as of recently. So that's me. Oh, is finally somebody here gonna talk some shit. Yes, bro. I wanted to wait to do this, but I was just like, after it came out that, oh, it's not gonna be a full reconstruction like I suspected, like I originally suspected. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just validated in what I said, but I'm finna go ahead and get into it. So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and change the scenes. I'm in my bonnet and stuff because I really ain't left the house all day. I just been here chilling. So look, let's check this out. So I first want to start with this whole thing right here. I don't even know why this is playing, but look, y'all. Earlier today, they said that Mike is out with a season-ending injury. Okay, and if you follow me on Twitter, you already know what I pretty much said last night. I'm like, bro, this isn't an ACL injury. And I was right. It's not an ACL injury in theory, okay? A lot of headlines are saying it's an ACL injury because of his past, okay, if that makes sense. We're going to get into it in a minute. But also, a little update on myself, if anybody cares. If we're finna go pull it up right here. My team is in the playoffs. Like, team I coach for, we in the playoffs right now. We play Friday. And I come back home on that Friday. So hopefully I get back in time to take that bus all the way out there to Fayetteville, Tennessee, and we're going to have fun out there. But anyways, back on track. So let's look at this first. Let's look at this injury because I think everybody wants to hear about the injury first. And that's what I want to hear about too. So I'm going to just let y'all listen to it. I'm going to pause it, obviously, but like, we just got to listen to this. Because a lot of people don't really understand what I was saying. Okay, let's listen to this. Okay, so a lot of people heard that and they were like, okay, cool, we might be straight. But then the reports came out earlier this morning where it was just like, oh, he's going to be out for the season with a partially torn ACL. But I think people really weren't listening because if we speed it up real quick, hold on. Matter of fact, So what he's saying is, and even if you look at his injuries, I can't pull up the video right now because I might get sniped with monetization stuff. But like when you watch him take that hit against Carolina and you watch the sack against San Francisco, we know that ACL injuries, when they look like, well, we know what they look like. You know, your knees caving inward or outward. But if you look at Mike's knee injury, his knee hit the ground like it went boom. It didn't bend. It didn't go in, out, any of that. Okay, so that's my whole initial thinking that, okay, this can't be an ACL, especially if he hit the ground. I could see a bone bruise, and that's what it was. So let's listen to this. Oh, let me turn the audio up just a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm about to fix it.
Now, the bad news side is, and you guys know this.
There we go.
When
Can
you
y'all
come
hear
back
it?
And you get a re-aggravation of an injury, that puts you out a lot longer, right? You guys know this.
Yes.
So this is why you want to
Hold
rush
on, I
back
got
as an
look-
athlete, but if you rush back,
I gotta look at chat. They are killing me with the full reconstruction. That's what I'm saying, because it's not a full reconstruction. People are just reading the headlines and running with it, and I don't get that. Because let's just keep listening.
the week too early, it can set you back more. Now, I'm not saying Penix came back too early, but this week, Brock Purdy finally returned to play. He had his turf toe injury.
And right now, he's just using an example of another player that came back from an injury prematurely and then, in turn, was out a little bit longer. Like, let me.
Accidents happen when we least
Hold
expect.
on. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about when I say this isn't an ACL injury. I think the ACL thing is a byproduct of what actually got hurt, based off of what he said. Because listen,
And by the end of week 3, he said he
Hold
re-aggravated
on.
it, and he was out 6 weeks.
I didn't want to go full
First time
screen.
he was only out a week.
Right.
So given that with Michael Penix here, yeah, it's going to be a longer absence than the first time, no matter
Mhm.
anyway.
Like we thought, because they said he re-injured his same knee, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be longer than a week. That's why he went on IR. I was thinking he was gonna be gone 4 weeks. He's gonna come back cool, but there was no way to come back, right? Ramadi's not saying it would be a full construction on a partial tear. It's so hard to get a read on what's going on. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people were like, okay, I made 2 tweets earlier today. I made one last night that I deleted. I made the other one earlier today that I deleted too. And I didn't delete it because I felt like I was wrong, but everybody didn't really understand where I was coming from, because when I said it wasn't an ACL injury, a lot of people were saying, oh, yes, it is. Look at the reports. You're just, take the L and move on. But no, it wasn't. Because, hold on. I'm going to get to it.
Given the bone bruise and the PCL. The question now is,
Because
longer absence in
he
the
said it was a PCL injury, and you're going to hear
first
why.
time, no matter any way you look at it, given the bone bruise and the PCL. The question now is, when is he going to come back, and what to make of the ACL portion?
Mhm.
I believe any partial ACL injury or laxity was pre-existing before yesterday.
Wow.
It's not uncommon to have a little laxity after an ACL reconstruction and the knee is moving and stable.
Okay, so what he's saying is when people get their ACL reconstructed, it's not uncommon for there to be a small tear in it after the reconstruction, which means it's probably always been there ever since he got his knee repaired. It's just the piece. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just keep playing it.
So if this is the knee joint, overly simple, the ACL keeps the knee from coming forward,
Mhm.
the PCL keeps it from coming back. If it comes forward a little tiny bit, and you're functional as an NFL athlete, it can be fine until perhaps now you have the PCL that has it go back. So then instead of just going from here to here a little bit, it goes from here to here, and now becomes a bigger deal.
And that's what my whole thing was. Okay, because people said it was probably a PCL sprain. So if it was an ACL partial tear, it was already there. That's why I said it wasn't an ACL injury. The ACL injury was a byproduct of it. Okay, because like he said before, even if that tear was already there and he was moving fine, there was no issue until the PCL got injured. Okay, because then it became a big issue. So like I said, it was a byproduct of what was going on, and it wasn't actually like, but people didn't want to hear it.
That's why this PCL, which
just want
doesn't
to
usually
argue
need
with me.
surgery, this is why you're hearing all the concerns about partial ACL right now
See?
on Michael Penix. The good news is it's not new. The good news is PCL won't need surgery. The bad news is, does the PCL unmask the ACL where perhaps surgery is now needed?
And I said the same thing. The PCL, if it gets hurt, that means the ACL was a byproduct of it, which means the knee was already stable with that small tear or laxity or laceration, whatever you want to call it. But when that PCL gets hurt, then it gets exacerbated. So, like, once again, it wasn't a PCL or it wasn't an ACL at all. It was just a byproduct. So I'm still sticking with that. But so he was playing injured already. Yes, but no. Okay, because like you said in the video, like even then, you know, when you get your ACL reconstructed, there's going to be a small tear, and it's common for that to happen. But if the knee is stable and you're functional as an athlete, you're cool. But if your PCL gets hurt, then it becomes an issue because, like you said before, your PCL keeps your knee from going backwards. So where your knee goes backwards too far and then comes back forward with the ACL, the injury gets exacerbated. So technically, yes, it was an injury. Technically, no, because he wasn't in pain. But once again, it was just a byproduct of what actually was wrong with him. And people thought I was just saying, no, it wasn't ACL because I want to be right. No, it wasn't an injury, an ACL injury at its core, but that was a byproduct of it. And people just want to argue, and I understand why. But cool. I'm curious if you talk about this later, but do you want to talk about the people saying Mike's done and we're going to move? Yes, I'm talking about that. And I'm going to get to that next, as a matter of fact. And new staff, Locked On Clown saying, y'all, look at this comment because look at who I brought up. This was already in my tabs waiting. I was going to talk about this regardless. And preface, I don't have a problem with him, but some of his takes, nah. And I'm not saying I always have the perfect takes because I know I don't, but like, I ain't gonna lie. When you listen to him talk in his vernacular, he doesn't sound like a fan. And I'm not saying he's trying to come off as one because maybe he isn't. He doesn't want to portray to be one. But like, if you're going to be a part of this, I guess, media space, I guess there's some unwritten rules where like you gotta act a certain way in that sense because, I'm using a bad example, but like you see the guys like Taryn, Tori, I forgot the other guy's name, but like they're on the Falcons podcast and they kind of keep things PC, but like they're still able to be critical in a sense, but not go overboard. He's just overly critical, like damn to the point of like, damn, like why are you so negative? And I'm gonna talk about that. I think I got my tweets up too. Well, actually I don't, but I want to show y'all this too, where Mark was talking. Somebody brought it up already because I don't follow him on Twitter. I just see his tweets all the time. But here we go. Where is it? Oh, he deleted the tweet. Oh, so it does need full reconstruction. So why did he tweet that it doesn't? Okay. So I'll probably take back some of the stuff I said, but this was literally in response to the saying, oh, it doesn't need full reconstruction. But I still stand on the whole thing of it wasn't an ACL injury at its core. It was the byproduct. But if it needs full reconstruction, he'll be back in August, at its latest October. But like with the way sports medicine is going, I wouldn't be shocked if he comes back and is ready for week 1. So yeah, I don't usually hate dude, but he sounds like he's an implant reporter who's forced to cover the team. He really does. I tweeted that at you originally, yeah, but he backpedaled and said he was wrong. I know he's wrong. That's a wild thing to tweet. Yeah, that's crazy to tweet on accident because, like, really? I don't even know. My thing is, where did you get that from in order for it to be a misunderstanding? But that's beside the point. So we talked about the injury. We get that out the way. Now I want to talk about these two narratives. Okay, let's look at the first one.
I think the narrative is going to be
because, matter of fact,
all you have to do.
And before I play this whole video, I don't disagree with everything he said because he makes some valid points a lot of times. But these first two, I think I just want to talk about real quick.
Like, I think the narrative is going to be that all you have to do is upgrade the play calling, and Michael Penix is going to blossom. And I
ain't gonna lie, I fall victim to that too. I'm thinking if we just get an experienced play caller, everything would get better. And I had to sit back and think about it. And Brett Coleman just dropped a new video about, you know, the way quarterbacks develop and how they're late bloomers a lot. And a lot of that, like, we always ask for, okay, let's go under center. Let's do these runs from under center. Let's do play action. Let's do this and that. Michael's one of the best play action quarterbacks in the league. But then we turn around and say, you know, well, I wouldn't say we turn around and say, but like, we also noticed that Mike was in shotgun a lot and he was doing those play actions to where he didn't have to take his eyes off the defense. I can't talk right now, but like, play action is different from shotgun from under center, obviously, because you're not turning your back to the defense. And let me just
I don't think that's a wrong opinion.
It's
But
not.
I think it's very superficial because I think
And it is.
what we have been trying to do on this podcast over the last month is really dig in on, go beyond the superficial of just like
Kevin, not yet.
assuming
He's terrible
Penix
sometimes.
Drop into a different offense and a better offense is going to automatically be better, because does he have the requisite skill set to really thrive in that offense, or is he just going to be more functional than what he already is, which is again an improvement, but it's not going to get the Falcons to where we want them to be, which is getting consistent top 10 level play. So,
Okay, and that last part where it was just like, is he gonna really take off, or is he gonna be better than what he is but still functional? I think like it's obviously early in his career. I'm assuming he's gonna have a long career because he has the arm talent to do so. Okay, but my whole thing is, once again, I fall victim of saying we just need a better quarterback or better play calling. We'll be fine, and I really do believe that. But I didn't take into account, what is that play caller gonna have him do? Is he gonna have him play to his strengths or not? Okay. Because if he's going to have him doing under center play action, that's going to take a while for him to develop, and we're still going to see a quarterback develop in real time. And once again, a lot of people want to be or want a young quarterback until it's time to watch that young quarterback develop. What's up, gang? What's up, what's up, James? Yeah, James, what's up, bro? Aaron had this coming for a minute. I'm not attacking him, man. I swear, but like it's just two things I want to talk about, y'all. Two things. Well, does Penix have the skill set to get us there? And that's the whole thing. As of right now, like when you see a young quarterback, you always see there are a few things that stick out when you watch quarterbacks. That's processing, anticipation, and what's the third one? I would say pocket presence. Okay, if we look at processing, we know Mike can process things. Okay, the only thing I think he can't really do well is read those non-traditional Tampa coverages where they're getting into Tampa 2 in different ways. And granted, a lot of quarterbacks are having problems with that, but like, we just got to figure that out. The second thing is anticipation. I've seen Mike throw with anticipation. A lot of people, like, my thing is, there's been like a lot of conflicting things around Mike and his pre-draft process up until now, okay? Because you'll hear things, oh, he was great throwing over the middle. He was great intermediate and short. But then you'll hear other people say, well, he couldn't throw over the middle. He couldn't throw intermediate and deep. I'm like, bro, what? Like, you just have to sit up there and watch him yourself to get a good read on him, because a lot of things are contradicting. So, but I think he possesses those three things at bare minimum, right? The pocket presence, like I think he'll stand in there, take a hit, while delivering the throw. I think he has the pocket presence to realize the pocket's breaking down, I got to get out. He's reluctant to run, but that doesn't mean he can't run. And a lot of people think those two are like coincided together. That's not the thing. You could be reluctant to run, but still be a passer, or still be a runner, my fault, because Lamar Jackson, he's that now. Like, we have to literally beg Lamar to run the ball when the pocket's breaking down, because he wants to sit in there and make a throw, okay? And yes, fans just act like he's just horrible. Like do y'all, like, people aren't really watching, and the whole narrative that he can't throw over the middle is killing me, because when you watch him throw over the middle, like, you see, like, there's clear upside there, okay? And I say Mike has the foundation. Whether or not he reaches the ceiling is the question, okay? I think he could under the right circumstances, but it just doesn't, I don't know. Right now it isn't looking good, and it's not because of him. That's the whole thing I'm really getting at, okay? Because he's doing all he can, okay? But let's get to the next one, because
I'm so tired of people trying to pretend.
I really want to address this one.
They're more.
I really want to address this one, because I don't know what the hell he was saying with this one, okay? This was a terrible take by him. I ain't even gonna lie, a lot of my Mike takes are a bit emotional. I just believe in dude so much. I want to see him succeed. And yeah, a lot of people, they believe in him to a fault to where they're hard on him. And I understand it, because you're a quarterback. There's no gray area with a quarterback, right? It's either you can lead him to the Super Bowl or you can't. There's no in between, okay? So that's the whole thing for me. I think the right coach should be able to help him with those things, and I do too. And my stuff is out of line. Why didn't y'all say anything? What the hell? I didn't even realize that. Let me fix that, y'all. Nobody told me that my stuff was out of line. All right, chat. Okay, there we go. But look, so we got to talk about this take, because I think I was one of the ones that started this, and I'm saying, like, we see all this talent on the team, and we can clearly see that this isn't a talent issue, it's a coach issue, because a lot of people say, well, you don't have a first-round pick, and my immediate rebuttal to that is, we aren't lacking talent, so we need a first round pick. Will we love one? Of course, but we don't necessarily need it in a dire manner that people think. And I always say, competent coaches, this is a winning team 100%. But let's just listen to what he had to say.
I'm so tired of people trying to pretend that this is a talented team. They're more talented than the record right now. They're more talented than the way that they're playing. This is not a good football team. This is not a well-constructed team. So, the only thing that's giving me joy is the possibility that they just completely blow this thing up at the end of the season, and this team finally gets the reset that it does, and hopefully ownership. Please, Arthur Blank, if you're listening.
I'm going to just stop it right there. Okay. To say this isn't a good football team, I can halfway meet you there. But to act like there's no talent, like, let's just go down the line. Let's start at quarterback. Mike has shown flashes, okay? Whether you think he's talented or not, that's up for debate. But, like, in my opinion, I think he's a talented quarterback. His arm can touch any part of the field. He can run with the ball. He has the tools there, okay? We go to running back. We have Bijan and Tyler, okay? That's three guys I just named. Drake London's top 5 receiver in the league currently. Okay, that's 4. Okay, offensive line. Let's go. Let's look at Jake Matthews. Let's look at Chris Lindstrom. Let's look at Matthew Bergeron, Caleb McGarry. Okay, do you want to put Kyle in there? Do you want to put? We're gonna leave him out. Let's be nice. Okay, we have about 8 to 9 guys on offense that are great. Okay, I wouldn't say Caleb McGarry's great, but for what he does it really freaking well. Okay, let's go to defense. Zach Harrison. A lot of people that watch more than just the broadcast view, they know Zach Harrison is a really good football player. Okay, Brandon Doyles is coming along, right? Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Caden Ellis, Devon Diablo, Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts, AJ Terrell. Is that I just named a lot of talented guys. This team has a lot of talent. It's poorly coached. That's it. We have 2 1,000-yard backs and backs to our receiver that have gotten under plus yards multiple times and an all-pro guard. I forgot to add Billy Bowman. Thank you for saying that. Billy Bowman Jr. Okay. Do you want to put in D because he's been having a good year? Okay. Mike Hughes has been, I won't say he's talented, but he's been solid, right? But to act like this team is just not good, not well constructed, that's just not good. That's just false, okay? The identity of this defense lines up with how they're built, from its foundation. They want to be that team that disguises their pressures, that is really aggressive and gets after you. Okay, so what do they go out and do? They go out and get 2 outside linebackers, that play edge, that play on the edge. That way you can do your simulated pressures. You can do your fire zones, your zone replacements, okay? You want to play more man coverage. You go out and get a Xavier Watts, who was in Notre Dame playing a lot of man-to-man coverage. Jesse Bates, one of the best man-to-man safeties in the league, okay? AJ Terrell plays very good in man. Mike Hughes is okay in man. D. Offer was good in man, okay? So act like this isn't a good constructed football team is just not true, because it lines up with the philosophy, okay? We're a one-gap team now, so that means we're going to be more aggressive. But look at last year, where we were very conservative, 2-gapping guys, and the defense was terrible, okay? Because it didn't coincide with our personnel, right? Our offense is a whole different story, but to say this isn't talent, and then right, y'all. Yes, Kobe is talented, y'all. I didn't want to. I'm saying the guys that are getting the main run, and I looked at this tape. He played only 6 coverage snaps, but it really wasn't a lot there because I really wanted to make a video about it. But yeah, Kobe he didn't look good. He looked great. I don't know why they didn't play him for the second half, y'all. That was abysmal. But these are the only 2 things I want to talk about because I disagree with this one, but I 100% agree with this one.
The narrative is going to be
that
all you have to do is upgrade
we got to talk about something that's more important, and that's this entire team and this timeline. Now, don't cook my timeline because I just made it, but we got to talk about this entire timeline of what's been going on. Okay, I know I could present this somehow. Let me see. Is this the present button? Yeah, that's the present button. Okay, cool. So y'all look at my timeline. Tell me what y'all think of this timeline. Does it look cool? Because I think it looks. I think it's gonna portray what I want to talk about, right? So, yeah, McGarry's been serviceable at best. Damn. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I was one of the people that wanted Caleb gone this season via trade, but it was just like, nah. But like, let me know what I think about this timeline because I'm finna go over all of it now, okay? Because this is a good way to highlight the career or stint of this guy as he's getting ready to go. Because I wish it really came out, but I did a podcast episode. I forgot his name. I think it's Bryce, but it didn't come out because of the audio was messed up. But he asked me, bro, forgot to mention JD Bertrand and wants to think he knows Bo. You talk about that statue, bro. I remember I made a picture of him, bro. Let me hold on. I think it's on here. Let me go see, cause this is how I make my thumbnails. Let me go see. Gang, here it is. Y'all tell him, bro. This is. We supposed to hype this guy up right here, y'all. This guy. Oh, I'm zooming in too much. I'm tripping. But look, y'all. Let me get back to. I gotta stay on track. Y'all. I'm tripping. Okay, but look. Let's get into this. So, we want to talk about Raheem Morris and his whole thing. And me personally, yeah, Bryce Lewis, him. Yep, him. It's cool. Okay. But look, let's talk about Raheem because a lot of people want him gone, and I understand why. And me personally, I'm of the opinion that I wouldn't be opposed to it, but like I don't see a lot of it. It's a tough conversation to have. So let's just start from the top. Raheem Morris gets hired, and from what I've seen and heard, there was no competition, and we gave him a 5-year contract. I don't know if that's true or not, but like we hire Raheem Morris, and we have the introductory press conference. He talks about how this team is just right there, right? And a lot of people believe that. Okay, we went 7-10. We were like a few games out of the playoffs, and you know, if we just had a good quarterback, we could get over the hump. And he was really portraying that message to us because that's what we really felt like because we had the talent in place. The defense had took a step forward in 23. It wasn't like crazy, but it was better. Okay. But he gave us that message that this team is ready to win now. We're gonna do what we need to do to just get back into the playoffs and start competing again and bring back the winning culture that was in Atlanta when he was an assistant coach. Okay. And some things that you just don't do. And I think this is one of the things. Okay. So he brought in 2 guys from LA, Zach Robinson, James Lake. Okay. And I don't have a problem with hiring, like at the time, okay, this is like late January, early February. I don't have a problem with bringing in new coordinators because, and he also said he wanted to develop from within as far as like his staff. So I can understand that, okay? And then we fast forward down to the free agency period where, he signs Kirk Cousins to that deal. He goes and gets Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, a few other guys, okay? And you're starting to see, okay, this team wants to win now, right? We want to win now. We want to get back into the playoffs immediately, right? But my thing is, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we look at the quarterback and play caller dynamic, rookie play caller, veteran quarterback, that's sometimes or normally like a good mix because sometimes the veteran can, in a sense, make up for the flaws of the rookie play caller. Okay, because he can understand, okay, this is a bad play call. Let's get out of it. Let's get into some more favorable XYZ and all of that. But like, there was no issue here at the moment because it's like you want to win now, so you're going to get some new guys. You're going to get a veteran. You're going to bolster everything. And you're going to, let's go win, right? Because this division is very attainable. But fast forward to April, this timeline breaks off and we create a new one with Mike, okay? So this is the win now timeline. This is the win later timeline, okay? And when we drafted Mike, we created a whole new timeline for ourselves, right? The win later one. And y'all saw that Kirk wasn't happy about it. He was just sitting there watching the draft and kind of confused. Like, we took a quarterback, really? And I thought we were coming here to win now. I want to win now. I want to go compete for a Super Bowl. Yes, we went and got a quarterback, okay? And a lot of people have been saying they never had a problem with drafting Mike, okay? We never had a problem with this. But to do both in the same offseason didn't make sense. And I agree with that, okay? So that's my whole thing because I think the original plan was have Kirk play for 2 years, have Mike take over. By this time, you're probably assuming that Zach will be gone and be another head coach somewhere. That way, one of his underlings, I would call them, not assistants, because they don't get that tag right now. They would take over probably and ease Mike into that whole new era, right? But things don't go as planned, right? Kirk Cousins gets hurt in the Week 10 game, and we ended up losing. We slide down the stands in the NFC South, and boom, next thing you know, we're fighting for our playoff lives. And then that's where Mike comes in. Now, he comes in somewhere along here, and he plays out, okay? And then the end of the season happens, and Mike is still the quarterback one, okay? And I really do think there's a timeline where Mike is still the backup quarterback, and that's why I put the question mark right, because what if Kirk goes back to his job, okay, as quarterback one? And I really think that Raheem Morris made an impulsive decision to just, hey, I'm finna bench Mike and roll with him for the rest of the year and into next year, and we finna just go balls to the wall on Mike now. I disagree with that move, but since I was happy to see Mike play, I was like, cool, we get Mike early now. The obviously more talented quarterback, and our young guys can get rapport with him. So I think you said something then. I think he overestimated how much he thought Zach learned from McVay. I think he did too. Well, I think he learned a lot. Granted, I think he did learn a lot, but the execution wasn't right, okay? Because you walk a thin line between winning now and later, because since those timelines are so like different, that's why I put them parallel, because you know they never touch. That means they just don't mix, right? I think it's just so vastly different that you don't make you make odd moves, okay? Because then look at this. We get to the offseason, we get a experienced coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, who knows what he's doing, okay? And you see our defense is turning up, okay? But where it goes wrong is we have this dynamic of a young quarterback and still a relatively new play caller. And like I said before, those veteran quarterbacks mask the issues of a young quarter or play caller. Putting a young quarterback with not that much experience into a position with a new play caller, those deficiencies, they get unmasked and they get exacerbated. So now we're looking at an offense that has no identity, okay? The game plans don't seem consistent week to week, right? And a lot of people are blaming Mike for this, unfortunately, and he will get some blame for this because he has not been perfect, but we expected this. But at the same time, the coordinator has been terrible. The play calling has been awful. We put up 21 points in the first half, and then all of a sudden the entire offense changed when Kirk came in. Like y'all saw, we went from pistol to under center. And it was just like, what? And we scored 6 points the rest of the game. And I don't know, man. Making mistakes as first-year coordinator would have been okay at best. And yeah, cool. But like at this point in time now, there's no room for mistakes. Okay? It's just bad overall, and I don't rock with that. So, but my honest opinion, if they don't fire Raheem Morris, I do think he gets his one more year. Terry gets his one more year. But we got to get rid of Zach because we got to get somebody with experience, okay? And I also, by the way, since it actually is a full reconstruction of the ACL, do we keep Kirk for year 3? Or do we go out and get another bridge quarterback? My best guess would to be keep Kirk Cousins on this team because he will be starting. He will be starting, okay, at some point. Because even with the way, let's say Mike does come back and he gets hurt again, he's out for a few weeks, we still have Kirk Cousins in our back pocket and we're still paying him that money, okay? But, like, I really do feel like had Raheem Morris just given Kirk his job back at the end of the season, none of this happens at all, okay? I feel like the offense would have came back better. The defense would have been where it has been already, and we're a way better team off. And I'm not saying Mike is the issue. I'm saying, like, he's probably, like, his injuries and stuff was an unintended consequence, okay, if that makes sense, because the original plan was to never have him play. They just thrusted him in early, and now he has to deal with a bunch of bullshit, basically. And he got heat for it, but it's really all on this guy right here for being very impulsive with his decisions. Because I, for life, cannot understand why you would pay this guy that much money and then you would just leave him out to dry, not even a full year into his contract. Didn't make sense to me. Then I'm drafting a stud lineman with the first round of 2027. I don't know. I haven't done any research on the 2027 draft class, but like, it's too far. It's too far for me to say right now. But that's my whole take on the thing, and I think this has been playing for a minute now. But that's all I really want to talk about though, because I feel like it just needs to be talked about, and nobody's really, like, a lot of people are saying just stupid things. Okay, saying that we need to move on from Mike. He's played his last game in Atlanta, but what makes you say that? I understand that injuries are a concern for you, but then people start talking about, oh, he's had all these issues, he's inconsistent, his accuracy issues, this, that, and the third. But he's in his first year starting. Like, did you expect him to be perfect? And they start, oh, well, he's an older guy, and you know, how much is he gonna develop? Like, people are patient with Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. Now, they are getting a lot of shit, but they've been patient with them. So I really don't buy that either. But hey, man, it's just, I don't think we're in necessarily a terrible position like a lot of people say, but it's not a good position to be in. But I do want to talk about one thing. Now, let me go look at this real quick, because I do have like a lot of draft film that I want to show y'all. Let's go look at the receivers, because we know we need receivers. Now, I haven't done like a lot of research on all of these guys. The guys that do have reports on, now I'm going to show y'all this. Where is it? Here we are. So the guys I do have reports on is Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, and Mekhi Lemon I'm still doing. Okay? But if there's anybody y'all want me to, like, you know what I'm saying, do my research on, and you see anybody, you see any name, I know a lot of people talk about CJ Daniels, a lot of people talk about Omar Cooper, Jeremy Bernard. But hey, anybody y'all want me to look at, just tell me. Again, though, he wasn't even supposed to play until 2026. I just can't see moving off of him already. That's wild. I'm surprised Kirk even got benched in the first place, even though Penix gives us a better chance to win 80% of situations. If I was just the coach last year, Penix would have won the job for me too. The quarterback isn't quarterback enough for some fans. I know what you're saying with that. You're right. They went to the playoffs, so they get a grace, which is BS. Yeah. Kirk is gone. They kind of clouded. He doesn't need to be over here. Yeah, I feel like he will be gone, but I hope he stays. That's just me. But hey, so 2026, let's look at receiver, DT, LB, 2027, offensive line rebuild with the young talent. Yeah, I think we probably do. I think our issue is mainly just depth, okay? So I think we might spend a lot of these picks on depth, whether people like it or not. But I don't know. Kirk might come back. I don't know. But I'll be damned if we sit there and look at a bottom tier quarterback play, especially with Raheem Morris having his job on the line. I really doubt he's going to get from up under that contract, because he's under this contract. Opinion on trading Bates. I said, now, I ain't going to say nothing. Hold on, I'm going to show y'all what I said, because I tweeted about this earlier. But as far as trading Jesse, I'm not opposed to it. If we go find it, hold on. Let me see. Here it is. So I said Jesse can go, but somebody asked me what about trading Jake and Jesse. But I said trade Jesse. I think we can get a second, and just get a second. Where is it? Here it is. At least a second for base. That's what I want. We could probably get a day 2 pick out of a team that's right there. Like, if we look at the current, hold on. Let's see. This is updated 2 days ago. So we know the Rams are probably sitting in like pick 8 or something like that. Oh, they aren't. They're sitting at 10. Okay. So let's look at the bottom half of the draft. Teams without 2026 won, and it's 4 teams. That's crazy. So, like, if we look at these teams, who could we trade with? We could probably trade back with LA, but we'd be making them even better. We could probably trade with New England. Maybe the Eagles. Like, we probably send Jesse to a contender, right? Because that's the most ideal spot for him to go, right? So I'm thinking maybe I don't know, man. You probably got to send him to a very good team and get like a mid first, or not a mid, but like a latter half first round pick, maybe, if they want to do that. But I think at best we'll get like a day 2 and some maybe like next year's day 3s. So I don't know. What do you think of the dudes in full freak out mode saying trade Drake and Bijan? I really don't entertain them. Like, somebody said trade everybody and start from scratch. Like, a lot of y'all want to, like, a lot of people fantasize a rebuild until they see a rebuild happen in real time. Like, I'd rather us be mid for like the next 10 years than actually go through a full rebuild, because I cannot stand like that 4-12 season. It wasn't supposed to be 4-12 at all, because a rebuild doesn't guarantee you success at all. Okay, a team can tank for all they want to, but it's not going to guarantee you're going to get good off of that, because you still have to hit on the draft picks, you still have to sign the right guys, you have to retain the right guys, you have to have the right coaches. So it's a lot of moving parts. So simplifying it and saying we need to tank, it's kind of half-assing it. It's very lazy. So, hey, yeah, you can't let Drake leave. I don't get the rebuild shit. We literally just got out. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you could argue we was rebuilding in 2023, but like, objectively speaking, this team is not primed for a rebuild. There's too many talented guys on the team to be like, let's just throw it all away. Let's get as many picks as we can and let's rebuild. We're not the Jets, right? We have a foundation. There's some light at the end of the tunnel in terms of like winning games, but once again, it's the coaches, bro. It's the coaches. We just have to get the right coach out here and we'll be fine. So, hey, man, that's it for me. But I don't really. We literally, is ATL a desirable coach and stop in your opinion? Some folks don't think so. I think a lot of people don't think it is because of the whole quarterback situation. That's understandable, right? I think maybe you get an offensive coach that has a big ego. Like, oh, I can fix him. I could do this and that. Like Ben Johnson, right? Ben Johnson was like, I can fix Caleb. And they went out, they got offensive linemen. They did what they needed to do, and they're playing well. Now, Caleb's still having some bump in the roads, but, you know, you see it. We're kind of the same. A young, talented team that has no proper guidance. And I think, like, I don't know any like offensive guy that would come here and coach, like, because Clint Kubiak is probably going to take a more desirable job, in my opinion, because he's at the top of the list, right? But, like, Joe Brady, Todd Monken, like, you're probably looking at some of those names, right? And I'm scared of getting another guy from LA, but you could also see a situation where Mike McDaniel gets fired, Zach Taylor gets fired, Matt LaFleur, he's on the hot seat right now, apparently he gets fired, and you get your shot at one of those guys, okay? But it's just, I really do think that if Raheem doesn't get fired, he's going to bring in an experienced play caller, and we're going to go from there. And I really do hope so. Dolphins, please fire Mike McDaniel. That's what I want to happen, because, and then, bro, hold on, y'all. I got to talk about this too. Trade my boy, but like, I wonder if I can find the tweet. I really think I have to find this tweet. I don't even know how to spell his name. Yeah, that's not how you spell it. But look, y'all, I think I might be able to find his name if I just scroll far enough. Why is he tweeting? I thought he was tweeting me. Let me see. Hopefully I can find it. Hopefully. I don't know his name. I be having problems finding his name on here. But he talked about Mike McDaniel. He was like, okay, y'all are complaining about no play action, but Mike McDaniel doesn't do it. And I was like, I don't know about that. Now, this year, probably he doesn't. Now, let's look at the most play action teams in the league. You see, he's down there at 20th, right? And we're probably at 32. Yeah, we're at 31. Awful. But if you go back, I wouldn't say 2024, I don't think. But, like, yeah, it was 20. It was on before that. Okay, cool. Right here. If we go and look, Miami was second in play action rate. Granted, it was like a lull in play action usage, but you see, Miami used play action a lot. Okay, we go to 2022. Miami used play action a whole lot. Okay, we were the number one play action team in the league, and Miami was right there number 2. So I do think, y'all want to see a lot of play action, Mike McDaniel is your guy, okay? Or, I didn't think about this. Do we get an assistant off of Ben Johnson's coaching staff? Let's think about that for a minute. And Tua never had a big body target like Drake. Mike McDaniel had Tua playing like a top 5 quarterback, and Penix is more talented. Of course, we need a Daboll type. That's the number one guy on my list, actually, Brian Daboll. Let's get John Gruden. I would like John Gruden because he's a very good offensive play caller. Head coach? No. Play caller? Yes. Do you think Blank would want a new coach to have a plan for Mike? Given how he's like eager to win, I don't know if he'd be like, this is the guy I want you to develop. Do you have a plan for him? But it's just like, I'm not sure. It's hard to say, but I do think Arthur Blank would stick with Mike. That's my opinion. The only other options are the Titans and Giants. Those aren't very desirable either. Yeah. Who else? Maybe the Packers are probably going to get a new coach. The Dolphins, maybe. Who else? Probably the Texans because they've been kind of sliding, but granted they've been dealing with injuries. But hey man, it's Bingo Dable. He's exactly like. Let's think about it. Oh, you just brought up a very good point. John Gruden is OC. He has connections to Raheem. Ooh. Hey, I like it. I like that one. I really do like that one. Because I didn't even think about it in that light. Because they were both in Tampa when they won that Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would really like John Gruden because he would get them right. Okay, he has the play designs. He has the right ideology to develop a quarterback, right? Get him under center, learn the snap count, turn your back to the defense, decipher a coverage, deliver a good pass, and all under 3 seconds, okay? So, Gruden as our Josh McDaniels, yeah. I really would have loved Josh McDaniels to be our offensive coordinator because he developed Tom Brady. But, hey, and I think I've even showed y'all this before, bro. Like, when you look at their playbook, bro, from 2016 when they put us in Super Bowl, like, it's so good to look at, right? Because you learn a lot. Like, he's pretty much teaching these guys what they need to know. You got the formations right here, okay? Then we keep scrolling down more. You see, like, there's a lot of different formations and stuff, like hella formations. All the type of, like, movements. Like, movements pretty much like bootlegs and motions and stuff like that. So, like, you got the different motions right here. Like, he's deadass teaching y'all the entire offense, teaching you all the route concepts and all of that. Like, it's not like a Shanahan playbook where it's a one-size-fits-all, right? Well, no. I got to word it correctly. It's not like a Shanahan playbook where it's like it's easily adaptable for like you play a role. But like if you're in this, you have to know every single route combination. You have to know everything, okay? And that's why people struggle if they were young and in the Patriots system because they had to be very smart, okay? And I understand that. So teaching your quarterback to do all of this is good. So, hey, I just want change, bro. I just want to win. I really do want to win. Like, that's it. Whatever it takes, whatever it really does take. But that's all from me, y'all. I'm doing all my talking. I done streamed for about like an hour, so I'll probably drop a video tomorrow before I head home. I might stream when I get home on Friday, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's really all from me, y'all. I gotta stop the stream. Yeah.